Oh, hell. Howdy, y'all. It's Pookie. Thanks for joining me once again. Today, I'm having barbecue pulled pork sandwich and some photos. That's what I call faux Cheetos, like fake Cheetos. I got the hot ones, and then I got the regular. I just kind of mixed them up, and they're from the Dollar Tree. I tasted them. It tastes like a rice cake with cheese seasoning on it. Not lying about that. Just, it is what it is. I could tell you they're Cheetos, but they're not. And here is my barbecue pulled pork sandwich. Look, y'all. Lots of meat. The way I like it. I made this from the house of Pookie. Made by Pookie. I'm drinking water today. Plain old water. So first, let me try to take a bite of this sandwich. Look how big it is, y'all. I'm gonna squish it. Oh, hell. I have napkins too. Have my sandwich done fell out. I thought I brought a fork because I knew that would happen. Yeah, I made this last night. Good stuff. I actually made it in the crock pot all day. So when I came home, dinner was ready. So, I have one shout out. And that's to Victoria. Victoria, thanks for watching my channel. Thanks for subscribing and leaving a comment. So there you go. My only shout out. But I did want to check on Alley Cat 321. She had twins that were due, I think, on the 23rd of November. So I just wanted to know how that was going. Hadn't heard from her in a while. I figured she might be busy, if you know what I'm saying. New babies do that to you. I remember as a kid, in order to keep the sandwich, the bun on top, I would eat my sandwich like this. And then I would just make a line down the center, and I'd have two separate pieces when I was done. Ooh, it's hot. The meat's still hot. This is a mess of what it looks like now. This melts in your mouth, or right now it's melting in my mouth. I mentioned in the last video, we maybe talk about some things that I've done in my life that either I'm proud of or that just doesn't happen every day to people. Give you a little idea about me. So, I wrote a list of a couple things because I always forget what I did. There's not a lot. It's not a lot. Right? Okay, I'm just saying it's not a lot. So, one of the things, and you may not believe this, that I did was I ran a marathon. You know, 26.2 miles. I did it. Back in 2000, I started running at lunch. And the extra weight, whatever extra weight I had, I was 30. That started to fall off, right? And the company had this running club. So you could join the club, and the entrance to the fun runs were free. So I found a buddy at work, and she and I would just go running every day at lunch. There was a gym in the building, and we would go downstairs in that gym, change clothes, and go outside and run downtown Houston in this park they had. And we ran so we would not look so embarrassed when we did the fun run, because you have this chip on your shoe and it tracks what your time is, so it tallies it as a whole for the company, and you get a ranking. But anyway, that That gym was so awesome. It was so easy to work out because they ended up, everything, you would throw your clothes when you were done. You like, they had shower facilities, so you shower and you put your dirty clothes in this mesh bag and toss it in this thing. And the next day they'd have it hanging up on your number. And they would just basically throw it in the washer, throw it in the dryer, and then hang it back up. They wouldn't take the clothes out. So your clothes were always washed for you, but everybody was always wrinkled. It was kind of funny. So, I ran a marathon. I'd say I was in pretty good shape, but I was not a runner per se. I didn't like to run. The most I had ran before that was a little over 6 miles, which was a 10K. And one day we were at the gym and I was walking on the treadmill. I was like, Christina, what kind of pace do you have to finish the marathon? Because you have to qualify, you have to finish it in 5.5 hours. So you need a 12.5 minute mile-an-hour pace to finish. I was like, oh, we got that. I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking I could walk 12.5 miles an hour. I don't know. You wouldn't do that. And this was like a Thursday and the marathon was on a Saturday or Sunday. She's like, yeah. But we didn't register for it. We just went. It was just a challenge, see if we could do it. Just something to do for the day, you know what I'm saying? So we get out there, we start running. We stopped for the bathroom a time or two. Before I knew it, we were finished with our 10th mile. And kept running. It was easy. It seemed easy. And then the 15th mile, her hamstring started to hurt. So she was flip-flopping whether she wanted to stop or not. I was like, girl, if you want to stop, you want to stop. You better stop. Let me know, because, you know, you stop or you go, because I got to keep going. She ended up stopping, got on the wagon to take her back. So I kept going. And the whole time I had my cell phone in my little fanny pack, and I would call my husband. I was like, he was at Luby's. They went to church. He went to Luby's. And I was like, hey, you know, I'm in the 15th mile. Christina dropped out. He's like, you think you're going to finish it? I'm like, I don't know. I'll keep you posted. So I kept running. And I call them like 17 mile. And when I got to the 20 mile, when they say there's a wall at 20 miles, they ain't lying. Not lying. I hit the freaking wall. I was at the point that I was trotting, right? The runner group, some of them have like where you train. People actually train for the marathon. I didn't. But they were holding like a little stick that say 12 miles, 12.5 miles. So when the pacers for 12.5 miles passed me up, I knew I was in trouble. Because if I didn't keep up with them, I wouldn't finish the marathon. I wouldn't finish it in time. So I pulled my body over just before the 20th mile, and I was like, I'm going to stretch, because my calves and everything was like tight. And so when I put my toe on a curb, I was just going to flex my foot. And I felt like my muscle was going to snap before I could even barely point it. It was a hot mess. So I didn't do that. Walking was excruciating. You use different muscles when you walk than you when you run. So I think it was like the constant pounding pressure and the stiff movement was keeping my muscles like in a certain way. So the only way I could go without falling and collapsing was running. Or at this point I was trotting. So I hit mile 20. I'm like, oh crap. And I hear my name in the crowd, right? I'm looking around. And this lady's like, what are you doing here? I'm like, I'm running. She said, I didn't know you were going to enter. And I was like, I didn't. So she started running with me while she was talking. And it's real common at a 20 mile marker for people to meet and wait and look for their friend or what family member, and then when they see them, they'll run for like a mile with them to kind of get them through that wall. Anyway, she ran for a little bit with me. I was like, that's pretty cool. So I kept calling my husband. Still running. He's like, you want us to meet you there? You think you're gonna finish? I'm like, I think I'm gonna finish. It would be nice if you were there. So I just remember I'm like trotting here, and I look over and there's this old dude. He was way ahead of me, you know, and I finally catch up with him, but it's slow. It's so slow. I'm like, we got this. We can do it. He's like, yes, ma'am, we can. So my husband calls me. He's like, I'm at the finish line. Where are you? And I said, I'm on Allen Parkway or whatever. It was like I just finished 26 miles. That .2 to go. He goes, okay, so I'll see you in like 5 minutes. I'm like, baby, 0.2 of a mile? That it would be normal, realistic in the real world. But after trotting for 26 miles, I said, I'll see you in about 20, 30 minutes. So I get the finish line, is like, it curves right here. And just as you make a turn, there's a finish line, right? So I'm like trotting, and there's this person standing in the street, and they're like, where's your bib number? And that's the number they assign, and you pin it to your shirt, right? I was like, what? He said, where's your bib? I said, I don't have one. He said, you need to get out. Oh, hell no, he didn't. Rude. First of all, you had to pay like $80 to enter the marathon. I didn't pay because it was just a fun thing, and I didn't really think I was going to finish. But also, when you finish, they give you like a medal, and I guess anybody who made it through would get a medal, and I didn't pay, so I don't get one. So I was frustrated, to say the least. So I pulled over the side. I had to like bend down to get under the barricades, right? And I pretty much just kept running like along the sideline of the track. So I passed the finish line, but not under it. I was on the side of it. And my time was 5 hours and 19 minutes. But I did it, y'all. I finished a freaking marathon. Some people run marathons all the time. Me, it was a once in a lifetime thing. So I was proud of it because, one, I didn't train for it. Like I said, the 6.2 miles was probably the most I ran. I don't really like to run. I just wanted to keep stopping. So it was an accomplishment. And I think I read somewhere like only 10%. I don't know if it's the world or U.S. population actually run a marathon. So they're considered part of an elitist group. So I'm an elitist. Thank you very much. Okay, so anyway, that's one story. The other one, I got hit by a car when I was like in the 2nd grade. It was funny because I asked Sugar Plum Yum Yum, have you ever been hit by a car? He was like, 1, 2, 3 times. He was hit 3 times. Well, that just ruined my story. Most people don't even get hit by a car. I got hit by 1. He can get hit by 3. So anyway. Excuse me. We were in the car waiting for my sister to get out of school. I was with my stepdad, who was like my real dad. And I was like, I'm gonna go get her. He's alright. Look both ways though. And I did. So just as before I got to step out of the street, I looked left and I looked right, and I started to go across, and I looked left again, and then I saw a bumper. And that's all I remember. Like, and then I woke up and I was in the street, but my dad was holding me, you know, like this, had me cradled, and he was just I could feel, you know, I was shaking because he was shaking. He was crying. I was like, what? But I was fine. Like, I didn't hurt or nothing. And my mom came over, and I just remember my mom over me at the nurse office, and she was crying. Her eyes were her face was so red, and she was in tears, like, my baby got hit by a car. I'm fine. They insisted I go to the emergency room. I had a little bitty bruise right there on my hip, and that was it. And he said when the car hit me, I flew like a rag doll, about the length of 2 car lengths. He thought I was dead. I mean, he had actually picked me up and held me before I even woke up, so I could see that. So anyway, I was fine. That wasn't as extravagant as my marathon story. I took up karate for a little bit. So I did a kata. American karate does like these movements, and it's called kata, and I got first place in that. And then we did a sparring thing that was like top kick champion. I think it was 2001. I won that first place, so I did that. But I stopped doing karate. I was like, oh, I only got to like a green belt, and I stopped. I went hang gliding as part of my bucket list item. Anybody can do that. Not anybody could just get hit by a car. That was uneventful. I was excited. I had just thought about it. It had been on my bucket list ever since I was a kid. I said I want to go to Australia and I want to go hang gliding. Those are the 2 things I want to do before I die. So I'm like, I'm going to go hang gliding. And they have a place here. It's about an hour from here. But they'll tow you up. So because we don't have the hills you jump off of. And I'm afraid of heights. So like that jumping feeling, like jumping on a plane. Someone said in the comments they would do that. I cannot do that. Can't do it. But you're all set up in the hang glider thing, and then you're latched to another hang glider that has a motor, and they pull you up. So they pulled me up like 2,000 feet in the air, and then excuse me, once you get to 2,000 feet, the rope cuts off, and you hang glide down. It was really peaceful. There were cows, and they looked like this big. It's like being in a plane is what it felt like, but obviously not as high as a plane. 2,000 feet is pretty damn high. And it's funny. Because I'm afraid of heights, my mind is stupid. Like, if I'm on a cliff and I'm looking over, and there's a rail that's like concreted in or whatever, I'll lean over and just be amazed at the beauty. I'm not afraid. But if that railing is not there and I try to look over, my body wants to do like this. It just wants, I don't know. My body just wants to jump off a cliff. So when I was hang gliding, I wasn't fearful at all because I had something to hold on to, which was a bar. But I'm like, I'm in a kite that's not attached to anything. I could die. It was kind of funny. It's funny how the fear of heights works with me. One time we went hiking in Big Bend and we got up to the South Rim, which is really high up. And my husband, he was like, look over. I was like, And he's like, just hold my hand and you could lean over the edge. I'll just hold you. I was like, hell no, because if you watch a couple of videos back, watch that video, you'll know what kind of husband, how he took care of me. I was not going to put my life in his hand because I know his ass would let go. So I would literally get on my belly and crawl and look over the edge. It's the only way I would feel safe. This is almost gone. That's a good lunch. Looks like that's all I wrote. That's all she wrote, y'all. I went to the doctor for a follow-up because they did blood work. And they put me on thyroid medicine, like the low dose, about a little over a month ago. And he said the level's still low, so he doubled it up. And started me on that. That's so exciting. So I was thinking, I got a couple of questions to ask Sugar Plum Yum Yum. But if he, if he does do a video, we might talk about like how we met and stuff. It might be kind of a funny story. As well as asking the questions that have been posted already. But I told him, I said, baby, you're in high demand. The fans want to hear you. They want to see you. I said, they're already sending questions. He's like, okay, well, what are the questions? I would be happy to answer my fan mail. I said, you have to answer them on video. So now I'm thinking, I'm over 900 subscribers now. So I was kind of thinking, what would I do for 1,000 subscriber video? Like, what would be the celebration? So I think I might use that as an excuse and say, hey, that's a major milestone. You need to be on that video. What do y'all think? I don't know if he's shy. I don't know why he's not like volunteering, but he's not really saying no either. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. I spent every night with him. This week he came over. He's been working really late because his supervisor doesn't work there anymore, so he's open to close 6-7 days a week. So he comes home late. He's tired. He's a sweetheart. I still love and adore him. No matter how much I complain about something or how hard-headed I am, he loves me, he hugs me, and he looks in my eyes and tells me how much he appreciates me. So, God love him. I love him. Okay. That is it for this video. Looks like drop the mic. Okay, excuse me, that was weak. Okay, everyone, I hope you have a good day. Thanks so much for watching my video. Like this if you can by clicking the thumbs up button. If you're not already subscribed, do so. And then make sure you click on the bell next to it. It'll let you know whenever I do upload a video. And tell everybody about it if you want to. Leave a comment below because I love those. And if you do want to send me a letter in my P.O. box, still haven't gotten one yet, I'll do a pen pal situation and write you back, I promise. But I haven't gotten one yet, but I do have a P.O. box. That's down below in the description of the video. Okay, y'all? Okay, so that's it. Take care, and we'll be seeing y'all later. Bye, y'all.